Come on.
What's going on, guys?
Gentle.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Controversy Lab.
What controversy is key?
I'm your host, Lakel House.
I'm the before the storm RTJ.
Okay, so what are we talking about in today's episode?
Why you shouldn't bring knives to gunfights.
Okay, bring the knife to a gunfight. What happened? What's going on?
I can't remember what city this was in.
Okay, so in Jacksonville, we have a young lady
right.
by the name of Leah Baker on April 11th. So we're a little bit late on reporting about what happened, but I feel like it's something still interesting to actually talk about. Like I said, it happened April 11th in Jacksonville. Miss Leah Baker, who her mother said she suffered from mental illness. We're going to roll the clip first. You guys can check out the footage, and then we'll double back once you guys see the footage. Here's the clip.
This body cam video, which was recorded back on April 11th, shows rookie officer E. Mechling arriving at a home on Golfair Boulevard, not knowing that within seconds of knocking on the door, her life would be in danger.
What the HQ November 157, I just been stabbed!
Investigators say this was Leah Baker who came out the door armed with a knife and stabbed the officer. Stepping back provided distance and prevented the knife attack from being fatal.
She could have easily stabbed her in the upper torso, maybe even in the face or neck area.
Moments later, the confrontation escalates.
Drop the knife! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Officer Mechling fires at Baker and misses. Veteran Officer Sergeant J.C. Nobles arrives on scene to back up Officer Mechling. Then this happens.
Get on the ground! Get away from that knife!
Sergeant Nobles shoots Baker several times as she ran towards him with the knife. Baker was taken to the hospital where she eventually died from her injuries. Jefferson says this was an all-around sad situation for everyone involved because it was obvious Baker suffered from mental illness. But in the end, he says officers still have to protect themselves.
Okay, there you have it. There's a clip. Miss Leah Baker. First of all, rest in peace to Leah Baker. We don't want to ever make light of someone passing away or dying or losing their life over something like this, especially as it relates to someone having mental illness. And her mother says that she was trying to get her help. She said that she pleaded with a lot of mental institutions or hospitals to try to get her daughter the help she needed. So I'm a little bit unclear why she would make that statement and why a mental hospital wouldn't help her. I don't really know the.
There's a lot of politics in it with mental patients and insurance, and you have to have a paper trail. So that.
Oh, wow! Just for them to accept you?
Yeah.
If that's not the dumbest fucking shit I've ever fucking heard in my fucking life. If someone comes to a hospital and says, "Hey, I have mental issues, like help me," like you would think a motherfucker would be like, "Okay, we care about human motherfucking rights."
Like,
come on.
Come
on in.
Here go another deep personal thing about me. I was the only time I was able to be looked at as far as being admitted was through my therapist. Well, it wasn't my therapist, but it was through another therapist. But it's a lot of paperwork and trails that you have to go through as far as being admitted.
So with that being said, leave Rodney the fuck alone. If y'all don't know this, you hear that fake laugh? That was that ha 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 ha. I'm gonna make light of this shit. Nigga. He ain't lying though. I gut you.
Yeah, I will. But so she the police showed up for a wellness check that she actually made.
Right.
She made a phone call. She needed help. Police shows up, and I guess they took too long because here we go again.
Speak your mind, brother.
No, well, I mean it's just because Ashley came out the door, and like she came out in a rage with a knife. I give respects to the police for immediately getting away.
Yeah, so they one of her colleagues said that she survived only because she followed the strict guidelines for safety protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Said that once a law officer arrives on scene, once you knock on the door, the police officer is supposed to take several steps back because you never know what the person in the house has in their hand, what they're coming outside with. So he said that if she wouldn't have taken those steps back, the initial steps from outside of the house made by Miss Leah Baker probably would have been fatal. She probably would have went straight for the chest, the
jugular,
neck, the face. You really just don't know. And this was a big ass knife.
A chef's knife.
Chef's knife. She could have hit a major artery, even if it wasn't in the face or straight onto the chest. It could have been a major artery in the arm. You have a major artery in your left arm.
Yeah, this is what I can like, and me being a dumbass. This is actually what I caught of the video. Like she came storming out, like and screaming.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody that has seen this video has actually noticed that she actually closed the door.
I didn't even notice that.
She came out. Fuck.
Okay, here we go. We're in the shit now.
She came out, dude.
Why was it so funny when you thought about her closing the door? What was so funny?
Because she was so polite about it. Like she didn't want the air to get out. You know, your mom said, "You better close my door. You better before you go outside to stab somebody. Close my door." Okay, it's going. Just think about that, dude. Just think about that. Like you're so like you're gone. You're basically so gone. And
I feel where you're coming from. Like you're in such a murderous rage that you still thought to close the door.
Yeah, because you know the AC.
And then she didn't slam it.
No, she didn't. She politely closed the shit. She came out.
Only you would see some shit like that.
I don't know what I was thinking. I look at all variations of all varies of the video. So she comes out. The knife is down by the hip, and she leans out. She just closed the door.
So her mother actually went and spoke in front of her neighborhood down in Jacksonville. She said that she believes that, we need more resources and funding to actually help people that have mental issues, mental disorders, things like that. And she suggested that there be a licensed clinician that actually goes out with the police force to go on calls. I say, fuck that.
I say for wellness checks.
I say, no. She's talking about with police officers. When police officers go out, she said that there should be licensed, clinicians that go with them. I say
for wellness checks. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying for wellness checks. I'm not saying for like.
Oh yeah, for a wellness check. Yeah, I can see it for a wellness
saying.
check. You know what I'm saying? Because a police officer is only leveraging what he's seeing based on the law, and not the fact that somebody really might be in trouble. So I agree with you there. So yeah, or a police officer that has some type of clinical training from a therapist or some shit like that, which we know
they don't get trained for the shit.
No, I'm just saying, like, when we're talking about where's the money being spent, like if we're gonna give them that type of training in addition to say only these type of officers can do wellness checks. I think the reason why they probably wouldn't even want to do something like that is because, well, we could only have X amount of police trained, and what if we don't have someone that's on the clock and we don't want to wait in this wellness check, somebody could get hurt. I think it creates a whole lot of different variables where things could go wrong.
This is where it
doesn't really fix the problem.
It can't fix the problem. This is where I kind of call bullshit, because you have people that are on the force that you don't hear about that are 24 hours. And for instance, you have a vice squad. The vice squad is 24 hours. The reason the vice squad is 24 hours because you may need them to go do a drug buy or something for them. Like that's why the vice squad is 24 hours. So you can have somebody there 24 hours.
The reason why I call bullshit on my end and say that I totally disagree with you is because I feel like at the end of the day, we need to stop putting all this responsibility on the shoulder of the police officers. Like I
agree with that. Okay, I agree with that.
Yeah, so my thing is, I would just, piggyback and saying, yeah, if you want to do something with the cops, train the cops. You're talking about a licensed clinician to go out there. I don't know how I feel about that. They might get in the way. They might get somebody hurt. But at the end of the day, I would even still be against you training police officers. I feel like there should be resources and there should be funding to fix the issue with if somebody has a fucking mental disorder, let the people get the fucking help they need. Like that can just fix the problem from the beginning before it even gets to the police.
Cut out all the paperwork, basically.
Cut out all the fucking paperwork and the bullshit and just help people. Like why does that seem like it's so hard? I know. We'll just help people instead of putting the power to the police. That's also what Matt Carlucci actually said. He's a city councilman. He painted the narrative that he said that he agreed that giving money to the sheriff's office isn't the answer, and they should be looking into resources. He was saying, like, if council people want to come back and say we'll invest the money with the police or the sheriff's office, because sheriffs are the ones that go to your house to pick you up, take you to jail, right? They serve warrants and things like that. So he was saying if we give the money to the sheriffs and people are getting locked up, he was saying that what it does is it puts the money right back in the system for the police force, and it doesn't really fix the problem, because you and I both know, like, when you get behind those bars, the people that are there that's supposed to help you, they really don't give a fuck about you. Everybody has the same energy, like you're fucking guilty, you're innocent, you're a criminal. Like nobody really gives a fuck about you. You know what I mean? So I feel like, you know, taking the money away from the actual police force and putting it into like real actual funding that can help people, I support that. But I don't.
How do we? I guess how will we do the breakdown of like putting the funding in the right places? Because from what we probably can think of, I mean, not gonna say think about it, from what we probably can guess, everybody's stealing the money.
Yeah, you're gonna have corruption anywhere you go. You know what I mean?
So how do
you know, you're even gonna have when like people say, "Oh, you talking about stealing money?" We're talking about stealing money. There's big corporations that take money and don't invest it where it's supposed to go. Write it off on the books. Write it off into taxations and things like that. You'll never ever find the money. You know what I mean? So you know, I feel like it's an issue that needs a little bit more light, and that's, you know, part of the reason for us doing this video as well, is to shine light on, you know, the issue that we do have with people that have mental disorders and mental issues. Not everybody can get help. Like there are some people who serve in the military that can get help from the VA, but there's some people that just don't have the resources, you know, that can't afford pills and medication. There's some people that just get turned around when they try to go seek help.
Yeah, you bring the VA up. I'm glad that the VA starting to get people in that actually want to help the veterans.
Right.
Like beforehand, it was like a lot of people that really just didn't give a shit. But now you have people that's coming to work for the VA that actually want to help these veterans. And I'm kind of glad that it's the people on the lower end that's actually doing it, instead of Joe Biden giving out $86 million to the immigrants. I'm an asshole. I am an asshole.
But with that being said, you caught it. So I'm interested to know what you were going to say, but I'm not going. The only reason I'm not going to feed into it because it's off topic, and we're doing good. We're doing good in this episode. We're not going to get off topic. That's the only reason I cut it off. Not because I care about the negative things he's going to say, but it's just because we want to stay on topic.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah, we're doing good. So I mean, with that being said, you know, I feel like, yeah, you know, this brings and sheds light to some issues that we do have, you know, in our country that we need to focus on. And, you know, because I've dated people, been in relationships with people that had mental issues that, you know, had the resources. And like, and to piggyback off what you said, yeah, you have even companies now that are, you know, raising money and taking donations to actually invest and give to the VA to help veterans that need help. So yeah. I just feel like we also have to pay attention to, yeah, I support veterans wholeheartedly, but there also, you know, is a gap, you know, with people that actually do need help. Because that's something I learned. I didn't even know you had to have like a paper trail and to prove that you needed to be administered to get help in a hospital. And I think that that's a great conversation piece to start. You know what I'm saying? To start there and be like, oh, there's issues there. Because we the people, you know, we have the power as it relates to local legislation. Because, of course, it's happened in Jacksonville, you know, and Mr. Matt Carlucci is a city councilman in Jacksonville. You know what I mean?
So the problem with Mr. Carlucci is, I'm not going to say the problem with him exactly, but him being just a councilman, it still has to, and we're actually going through this. And I sat down in the meeting on Tuesday, I think. We're actually going through this with our city, and it has to be approved by the mayor. And when it comes to funding, a lot of people don't understand that even with the local politics, the money's been stolen. And the money's been put in different areas. Like within like the meeting that I sat in on, like we're basically trying to make basic changes. But if you want stuff to get done in your city, you still need the money.
Right.
So it's like a push-pull type of thing. And it really comes down to the people that live in the city, not just the councilman, not just the mayor. You have to really go out and piggyback on what you said. You really have to go out and talk to the councilman and the councilwomen to help affect change the way they can put pressure on the mayor to have him do these things that you guys financially need help from. So that's the only problem that I see that he's going to face, not have, but he's going to face, because it's going to if the mayor is not for it, then it probably more likely won't happen.
Yeah. So, but that's where the fight starts locally. You know, a lot of people cry and bitch and moan about federal laws where the main leverage that you have is in your local legislation. So, So with that being said, you know, we appreciate you guys tuning in on this episode of Controversy Lab.
Where controversy is key.
Shit.
You gotta get some more water.
But
he's parched.
But RTJ actually has been in charge of Spotify, getting Spotify up. We have our podcast on Spotify. What's other platforms?
Anchor, we're looking to get on Apple Podcasts. We're looking to get on Google Podcasts. We're looking to get on hopefully within this next couple of days, by Wednesday or Thursday, we'll be up on all platforms.
Yeah, so that's the next move, getting us up on all podcast platforms.
So if you,
because we are a podcast.
Yeah.
So
if you don't feel like, if you're driving and you just want to listen to us rant and rave and talk about whatever the fuck we're talking about, you can be able to listen to us.
with that being said, thank you guys. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this video with your friends, family, and tell them to watch it 37,000 times. And with that being said, we are out. We're done for today. Make sure you subscribe, and the like button and notification bell.
Bing! Controversy out.
Audio